Okay. What it do, people? November 9th, episode 4. It's the Braincast, y'all, if you ain't know already. Smart asses with smart mouths. I'm the left side of the brain, Cedric the creator, and
I am the right side, your favorite beverage. And it feel like it's been a minute. It's really only been a week as far as since y'all. But as far as since we've seen each other, it's been almost a week as well. And that's a long time for us.
Yeah, that's because literally, and okay, this is just when we start talking about what I say we was going to talk about. The moment, because I think you went to go watch a movie with your loves, I think right after we finished talking after the podcast last week.
Correct.
The moment you left, I went ghost.
That's crazy.
For folks who don't know me, and the folks who's in my community, they know me. I'm very transparent when it comes to my mental health, my well-being, the way I move, etc., etc. I seen my demeanor as well as just my energy, even within the last episode. I held it together, kept it professional, nothing crazy. It wasn't like I was going all Kanye on people. We'll talk about Kanye in a little bit, but it was off. It was off, and I believe it's because of my mentality that it didn't go crazy sideways. Because the moment, like I said, the moment you left the call, you go do what you're doing. I went awry. I went ghost. I didn't talk to nobody. The following day, I did something I never did before. You know, when I finally got out my bed on Wednesday, what time it was? 10 p.m.
Oh my god.
It was bad. It's the worst it's ever been for me. It's the worst. My mental state was. I stayed in bed all day Wednesday. I sat in bed. I watched the whole Rocky movie series. Jesus. 1 through 5. All of it. Back to back to back. Didn't even get out my bed. Didn't do anything. Barely ate. The only reason I ate that day is because my mom came back from doing groceries and she bought veggie straws. And she just came and dropped it on my bed. So I ate a couple of them. That's it. That's all I ate Wednesday. I didn't eat. I didn't drink. For folks who know me at this point, I'm a water monster at this point. I didn't drink not one drop of water that day. I took nothing in. It was a bad day. And I spent the rest of the week literally all up until a couple hours ago fighting my way back. It's been a bad week. It's been a rough week. But we're here. We're here. Take care of your mental health, people.
Thanks.
Take care of your mental health. Speaking of which, that's what we're talking about first. But before we get into that, how about you, Tway? How was your week?
I feel so terrible. It was the exact opposite.
Oh, because you had a great week? That's fine.
Yes, it is being the same person, like being twins. I'll be like, damn. How my boy doing? Like, I feel how he's doing. I know he's not doing okay, even without him telling me that. Even without us not talking, I'm like, how my boy doing? I feel like not great, but I'm doing great.
I'm happy for you.
Outside of work, which even in work, it's like that one problem I told you about. And other than that, like, obviously, I love my job. This is the best job I've had since I moved here. Outside wise, it's so good. Like, it's so good, and you know what I'm talking about. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy. Like,
I'm happy for you. I'm glad. So happy.
But it's like, you know, it's been a good week. We re-upped on cookie stuff, so
great.
Kitchen is back open.
Wonderful.
We got oh my god, I have such a big order to do next week. I just remembered that. Got a fat order coming in next week. So life has been good on this side of the tracks.
I love that. I love that for you. Because I know you haven't been feeling great for a long time, so it makes me very happy to hear that you're doing well. I've told you for the longest, even though you have many occasions, publicly and privately, where you fought me on it, but as me, doing me, I gave two shits. I was like, oh yeah, you can fight me. You gonna hate my guts before you tell me I'm wrong. You gonna hate my guts and cuss me out before you hate my guts, but I'm right here. I'm going to continue saying it. It sucks now, but you're going to get to a place where you'll be doing great. And I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that it's starting. I wish nothing but even better things for you, because you deserve it. You've been working for it. Yes, I'm happy. It makes me happy that you're happy. I love that.
Appreciate that.
Of course. I told you what this was.
Because this shit, when I tell y'all I'm not used to being this happy without having the nagging feeling that something bad is gonna happen. Like, this shit is not normal. And like, as you know,
it'll become normal. That's the thing. In order to have a new normal, it has to be new. And people don't like to understand that. People like to fight the new instead of it being a new normal. You want the new normal, but you don't want nothing new. Make it make sense.
Getting out of your comfort zone is hard, no matter who you are. Even if you're not somebody that's stubborn. Getting out of your comfort zone is extremely difficult, especially if you don't realize how traumatic your comfort zone is.
Indeed. Because your comfort zone is a thing, right? And I think it'll lead into our first topic. We're talking about mental health this week. Very important conversation. Mm-hmm. This is going to be the first of many. For folks who don't know this, both of us here have our illustrious histories with mental health. I knew off rip the moment we decided to even have a podcast episode that mental health is going to be a big part of our conversations on this show anyway. Mm-hmm. So strap in, because I promise you there's going to be many parts of episodes, maybe whole episodes with us talking about mental health. Is an important conversation. Very important conversation, and I think it's not talked about enough. People are talking about it, but I don't think it's talked about enough. It's just as important as health, physical health, because it gets to the point where your mental health can affect your physical health. This is coming from a kid back in middle school who had so much stress on his plate that he grew a bald spot into his head. That's me. That happened. It's a thing. I had to get shots in my head so my head can start growing hair again. My stress got that bad in middle school. Kids should not be. A middle schooler should not be having that amount of stress.
Never.
Shouldn't be having that much stress, but it was a thing. We got through it. We learned from it.
You know.
Now, where did I go with this? I feel like Kanye. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Mental health, right? Important thing. If anything, okay, we'll start with myself. Okay, so like I talked about, like probably the past 15 minutes. Bad week, bad mental health week. And leads into part of the topic that we have here: ghosting. Me, when it comes to my mental lows. This is what I'm going to call it, your mental lows, because a lot of people have mental lows and they just jump to call it depression. There's levels to it. You can't. Depression is an actual condition that some people have, and a lot of people like to gloss over what depression actually is and just says, "Oh, I feel down today, so I have depression." No, that's not how this works. So
you're sad for the day.
It's okay. You're having a mental low. It happens. And it can even go up to the next level to where you may have depressive tendencies, but you don't necessarily have actual depression. It's a thing. It's levels to it. It's the thing about mental health. This is why we need to talk about it. Anyway, back on topic. Mental lows this week. It got bad. Like I said, I'm not really a classical mental low person. And what I mean by that is, like they show you in the TV shows when people are having a bad day or whatever, they in their bathrobes, they're in their bed all day and do all that or whatever cases. That's usually not how I am. I'm usually on autopilot. Where on the outside it may seem like I'm just doing whatever I need to do, but I'm not here. I'm in my head. There can possibly be things that's happening in front of me that I have no idea is going on, even though I should be able to be seeing it, but I'm not really seeing anything. I'm not here. I'm in my head. It's usually how it goes, but it got bad enough to the point where you can say I was on a TV show, nigga. I was in bed all day Wednesday. I didn't get out of my bed until 10 p.m. Which is crazy. No, for me. Which now every time I look back at it, I'm like, that's terrible. That's not good. I needed to find a way to relieve myself. And as stubborn as I am, I shoulder all of it by myself, no matter if I have a support system or not. And that's because I'm not used to having a support system. I've never had a support system before. Perfect example, the day after Wednesday, my mom brought me food and said, here, since you didn't eat yesterday. Didn't ask why. Didn't wonder. You came in, seen that I ain't take a shower, I ain't brush my teeth, I ain't did nothing. I'm in bed all day. You said, when you gonna eat? I said, I'll be out soon. Never came out till 10. You don't ask no questions? It's my mother. Love her to death.
That adds on to the,
Indeed. I love her to death, but when it comes to this mental health thing, when it comes to, it goes back to the conversation we had on episode 1. The whole thing about supporting parents and providing parents. She's a provider. She learned to be a provider. That's her situation. Being a single mother, all of that. I can see how easily it is to fall into that provider trap. So some slack is cut, but not all the way. Because at the end of the day, you still gotta be a parent to your child, regardless. But that's not what this is about. Definitely need tea every episode. This is helping me, boy. But I had to come to terms with a lot of my recent past. Now, I'm not rehashing anything. We know everything. Talk to you about it. I talk to a lot of other people about it. At this point, like Supreme Kai says all the time, bro. We hear the story all the damn time.
Man really said that. Was listen to it here.
And man, so this is our 8th time hearing this story. Shit, okay. Yeah. Well, let's move on then. Right. But but he's not the only one who noticed it. I've noticed it, of course. And specifically, the reason why I noticed it is I know when other people do it. We joke about people who do stuff like that.
Facts.
However, as we all know, here's a diamond for y'all. Maybe even controversial. Every single person is a hypocrite to a certain extent for whatever reason.
Facts.
We may not call ourselves out on it because we know the reasons for it. So we justify it. So I justified it. Right? And I'm looking for the words here. It's one of those hard things to where you have to look yourself in the mirror and say that you've been fucking up. And the reason why you may be held back is because you chose to. Y'all don't want to hear it. People who may be in that situation, who may be chronic complainers, or it seems like every time you try to do something, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You don't want to look in the mirror and hear that you chose this. And I had to finally have that conversation with myself and say that I chose this. I chose to let my past be my present and future, and not let my future be a better future because of my past. Like, I've referenced before, I've had a very tumultuous and rocky road in this content creator space, and I've let that define me since those events took place. That's bad. That's terrible. You should never let your past define you. You should never let your past identify you. Your past may add to your character because you learned from it, but it should never be your identity. Don't let your past shape your present, because if you do, it's gonna make a great gift for the future. Write that down. Everybody listening? Because I freestyled that shit just now. It's hot.
Disgusting face. Hold on.
It's hot. It's real. As well as,
every gift ain't a good gift.
That's true. It's true. But as well as noticing that, and once I was able to establish that, I had to go down the line and see what needed to be repaired. And what I mean by go down the line, I'm talking about the effects that this core belief that I let sit there and fester for a while caused. And which, to bring it back around town for folks who may be just tuning in, or maybe you zoned out while I was rambling, we're talking about healing your mental health, and one way to do it, which is ghosting. Now, I'll put a pin in everything that I'm saying about my personal experience for now to go on to ask the question whether it's beneficial or harming. Now, the only reason why I think some people, and we'll see what you say too, Twin. I think some people say it's harming because, first and foremost, not everybody is built to self-reflect like I do, right? Not everybody is disciplined enough to do that, because your mind may be battered to the point where if you try to go inside and do this yourself, all you're going to hear is your demons yelling at you about how you're a shit of a person, you're terrible, you don't deserve to be here, and it can get really bad. And I'm not going to go anywhere worse with remarks because they may be triggering to a lot of people, but you see the road I'm going down. So for some people, ghosting may not necessarily be the route for you. You may have to suck it up and either talk to a friend or find professional help. Professional help is the best choice, but of course not everybody likes going down that road or can afford to go down that road. So talking to a good friend about it, just to actually hear yourself say it, helps. Journaling, stuff like that, being able to express your feelings, where your mind is at, etc. That may work for you if your mind isn't set up enough to be able to do the self-reflecting, the shadow work, etc. Now, for the people who I think have the self-resilience enough to do that, it may be beneficial, but in order for it to be beneficial, you have to be real with yourself, because there's a difference between keeping it real with yourself and just gassing your head. Very clear difference that people need to understand. Just saying, oh yeah, I'm the best dude out here, oh I look good, guns in the mirror, doing all that shit, it's not necessarily helping. Because if you've been down the road enough, and what I mean by road, I mean the road of negativity, you only maybe erased a couple steps out of that road for yourself by just giving yourself a couple compliments. Then by the time you finish saying that you look pretty and your guns look nice, and of course I can pull any woman I want, give it a couple hours and now you back where you started.
If not worse.
Exactly. It's the consistency, really being real with yourself, not too far to the point where you're battering yourself. Now we're back to square one about what I just talked about, with you building your mind so negatively where you can't even go inward. So it's really balancing, keeping it real with yourself, as well as the consistency. So what do you think, Twin? I talked a lot for like the past 20 minutes.
I feel like it can be beneficial if, how do I say this? I want to say if done correctly, but a lot of people will be like, well, how can you correctly ghost someone? It's not necessarily a someone thing. Ghosting doesn't necessarily mean dropping off the face of the earth as far as everyone who talks to you on a daily basis or something like that is concerned. It means...
Yeah, don't be like me. Because that's exactly what I did. I turned everything off. Not another person heard from me.
Even if you do that, if it's beneficial for you, and sometimes it is, sometimes doing that, sometimes literally just being like, all right, I'm just gonna bloop, and you drop off the face of the earth for a little bit. Sometimes doing that, if it's beneficial for you, you just gotta be selfish that one time and be like, hey, this what I had to do. And if you feel the need to explain yourself when you get back, do that. But at the end of the day, we grown. You ain't got to tell me shit.
Right.
But if you feel the need to do so because, I was worried or I care about you or something like that, just to be like, hey, blah, 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 that's one thing. But as far as that's how I feel about it being beneficial. But as far as not doing the more textbook version of what everybody thinks it is, ghosting don't necessarily mean you dropping off the face of the earth. It could be you just slowly backing away from everything. Because that's what I did. And I didn't even do it. I didn't even realize I did it until I came back and I realized, I was like, damn, I've been gone for a minute. I just slowly stopped going places as far as the community, as far as social media, as far as life everywhere, physical being places. If it wasn't work, I didn't go. When it came to Twitch, if it wasn't my stream, I wasn't there unless I was modding for you. And even if I was modding for you, it was more so I had you up on my TV and you was in audio only just so I could see the chat. And as soon as you ended, I was gone. Or not even as soon as you ended. If it was more than 5 of us in there, I left. Honestly.
Right.
So this, that's what I would consider another form of ghosting, and that's what I would consider a slightly less drastic version of it. Now, as far as it being harming, because everybody know themselves better than anybody else would. Okay, exactly. You might have that one person that know you just as well as you do, but don't know nobody know you better than you. Now, and only you know what form will be beneficial for you, or if ghosting is beneficial for you, period. Because if you know you're the type of person that needs a filter, even if it's not writing, if you need a verbal filter, a verbal, flush, somebody to tell these things to, ghosting will not be beneficial for you. Now, if you feel like you the type of person to, what term did you use? Trauma dump, I believe is what you said.
Trauma dump, emotional dumping.
There we go. If you're the type of person, now, if you feel like you're doing that, and you feel like it's not beneficial for the person you're doing it to, that's one thing. But however, that's a conversation that need to be had. But if you feel like, and you feel like you want to stop doing that to grow as a person or something like that, that's completely understandable. Once again, that's a conversation that need to be had. So I feel like it is harmful if you're the type of person that normally you cope with things by talking, and then you're choosing this one traumatic time to just drop off the face of the earth, and now you got to deal with all this shit by yourself, knowing when you have to do that, it does not go over well, and it never has.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you really just gotta, even in your moments, some point in time during the midst of a moment, everybody got a little bit of clarity. And in that little bit of clarity, you gotta really think, is this beneficial? Is this the most beneficial thing I could be doing right now? And if you're saying yes, okay, cool. Take as much time as you need. But if you're saying no, why? And what could you possibly be doing to help yourself out of this situation? Because at the end of the day, excuse me, in order for anybody to help you, you have to help yourself first, or at least try to. You have to. Even if, as hard as it is, I'm not even gonna say as hard as it sounds. It's hard. It's hard as fuck. As hard as it is, you have to. Because if you do not, whoever you are putting that weight on, that is going to emotionally drain them just as much, if not more, as it is emotionally draining you. Because now they're taking on your responsibility and theirs. And this is not to guilt. This is what happened.
Which, another good point. And once again, not to cut you off and let you continue.
No, go ahead.
Something that is important that I'm trying to practice healthily, because okay, let me get the point out, and then I'll explain it. It is important to actually ask whoever that you vent to, or whoever may be available for you to talk to ask if they're emotionally ready to take what you're about to tell them. That's important. Now, it's usually people fall on two sides of the spectrum. It's either, oh, I got something to tell you, you trauma or emotional dump. They weren't ready for it. Now they're dealing with all this heaviness. Or you do something like I do, to where you overthink it, and you're like, you don't think they'll ever be ready to handle whatever you have to say to them. And now you go handle it by yourself, which is not even necessarily handling for some people. Because once again, like we just discussed, not everybody's built for that. So communication is important, as well as, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, I lost the word. Either way, being real with yourself. Technically, to be honest, just keep it 100, man. Like, damn, my mind is telling me this important point, but I can't hear what he's trying to say, and I'm trying to get it out.
You need to be honest with yourself before you're honest with anyone else. Because if you lie to yourself and say, I'm okay, I'm cool by myself, all this other stuff, I don't need help, blase, whatever, knowing damn well you do, when you finally need help, whoever you reach out to is not, they're going to be wary. I'm not going to say they're not going to want to. I'm not going to do that. They're going to be extremely wary. Simply because for so long, whether it was a lie or not, because they felt like they knew you or feel like they know you, they put this precedent in their head that you cool, you handle these things by yourself, you cool, I'm here if you need me, but you cool. So then when you all of a sudden show them what you really need, it is very damning. It is very, it's gonna have people taken aback slightly.
Okay, I got the point I was trying to say. Okay, here. Stop being afraid to be vulnerable.
There we go. That's what it is.
That's the point I'm trying to make here.
Absolutely.
It was right here. And it finally came through. You have to stop being afraid to be vulnerable. Now, I can't speak for any other communities, but this is a crazy almost said something crazy. I know it's a sensitive thing. Almost said this is an emotional pandemic. We in the middle of a pandemic. That's insensitive. I'm sorry. It could have happened, but I'm not going to do it. However, this is a crazy, this is a crazy issue in the black community. Let it go. I'm talking to all my black folks. Let it go. Stop trying to be so fucking strong. You're human. We're all not Luke Cage. We're not built like him. That nigga don't exist. That should say something. That should say something right there. Because I'm sure a lot of people look at Luke Cage like, oh, that man represent those black people for real. That nigga don't exist. What does that say? Stop trying to pretend like you have bulletproof skin. Stop trying to pretend like you can handle everything. There's no one person can handle everything. Not everybody has the answers. Stop acting like you do. Be vulnerable. It's okay. Everybody gets hurt. Sometimes there may be a situation to where you opened up to the wrong person. Maybe they say an insensitive thing. Maybe they go crazy. But here's the thing about it, right? The same way if you get a cut on your arm, eventually it scabs up and it heals. And that part of your skin becomes stronger. You going through things makes you overall stronger.
However,
so you have to...
That does not mean you have to do them by yourself.
Oh, 100%.
And 100%. That the only reason I added that in is because motherfuckers will listen to the first part of what you just said and completely ignore the rest of what you finna say. Because indeed. The selective hearing when it comes to I love, first and foremost, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, I love the fact that everybody's trying to get in tune with their mental health now. I love that for our generation. I really honestly and truthfully do. However, I want y'all to know, if you are not going to fully open up to everything that mental health has to offer, and that includes being vulnerable, then you still going through the motions of these generational curses that we call ourselves trying to get rid of.
Bro, you beating around the bush. I'm gonna just call it the way it is. If you're not gonna fully open up to this mental health thing, you're not going to heal. You're going to hurt even worse, to be honest. Because not only did you rip off the scabs to these emotional wounds that you've had for years or whatever the case may be, you ripped it off, did nothing about it, and now it's sitting there bleeding. Whose fault is that? That's yours. Once again, not to get aggressive with y'all, but this is something that you need to understand. Because this is helping somebody. Somebody came across this episode and is listening to this and needed to hear it. Getting over mental health is one of the most difficult journeys any human may go through in recent memory. Because these days, niggas thought just going to war with the military and all kinds of stuff was the epitome of human struggle. Now y'all starting to understand that literally your greatest enemy is yourself. Especially with learning all the practices that prior generations participated in. May have been good at that time, but nobody calculated one of the biggest miscalculations in human history, which is the ramifications that comes with those practices. This is the reason why mental health is the industry that it is now. There's so many things y'all put into practice. It worked for what you wanted to, but the ramifications weren't counted for. And now we're dealing with generations and generations and generations of people who are confused within their mind, trying to realize why they're trying to do things, and they can't do it because it seems like their body won't let them, because their mental health up here is all kinds of out of whack. So, bring it back to the point. If you are going to participate in healing your mental health, you have to do it all the way. It's going to suck. There is things you don't want to hear yourself say or want to tell to yourself, but you need to say that in order for you to become the best version of yourself that you deserve to be. You don't have to have them hard conversations, especially if you're one of those people who can only make progress if you're either talking to someone, maybe it's a friend, or professional help. You're going to have to say some things about yourself that you don't want to say.
You're also
or even want to deal with.
Accept a professional's opinion by telling you what it is. And most therapists nowadays, they know how we are, so they know you got to be extremely blunt in order for our generation of people to like accept what you're saying. So it's definitely gonna feel like you getting cussed out. It's gonna feel like they come up for your neck, and it's gonna feel like all that, because that's what it is. But at the same time, that's what you need to hear, because when it comes to stuff like that, that's not a coddling type of thing. You can't get coddled when you do stuff like that, because that's how you end up being like, oh, okay, it's not that bad, and then you just like brush it to the side, and now you're back where you started.
Yeah, because that's how we learn. This is how we get into self-sabotage, which brings it full circle, because now we can get back to the pin that I put in with my personal situation, because that's literally what I did. I held on to the trauma of what I've gone through in the beginning of my content career and stuff like of that nature. And when you let your past define your present, you start a self-sabotage cycle.
Facts.
And that's what I was doing. I was self-sabotaging myself. That's why it seems like if anybody here who's messed with my content maybe over the past year or so and really paid attention, I have these spurts where I'll be doing really good, I'm starting to make progress, and for some reason I stop, get back on it, go up the progress, and we stop. Originally it wasn't my fault, but because originally it wasn't my fault, we hold on to that trauma. So now when I have the opportunity to change that, I don't. We repeat the cycle. We're in a self-sabotaging cycle. And it took me really just finding some information, a lot of videos. What I usually do personally for myself, being that I've grown accustomed to trying to get over my mental lows, solo. I go through looking through all kinds of spirituality, self-help, motivational content, whether it be YouTube videos, whether it be articles, whether it be books. Folks who've been to a lot of my streams, I've shown y'all a lot of the self-help books that I have here that I actually started reading. Stuff of that nature to help feed my mind the positivity and the constructive criticism that it needs for me to help get out of that low and potentially start putting down the bricks to not go back down to those lows ever again, to be honest. And it took me watching some of these videos that kept popping into my TL. Shout out to Google. Y'all fucking algorithm is atrocious the way it works. Cause there's been videos that popped up on my TL. I'm like, wow, the fuck? I'm offended, but I needed to hear it. To be honest.
And that's how it be, boy.
That's how it is. Like literally throughout this week, this mental low week, one of the lowest lows I've ever had. I've never really had a situation like this happen to me, but the universe started talking to me. Like I was telling Juice before the show, she put me and our very good friend of the show, Light Fury, on this app called The Pattern, right?
Facts.
And
if
pretty
you don't
much
have the pattern, boy, when I tell you, if you are not ready to be told about yourself, I don't care. Get the app.
That's hilarious. So yeah, I got this app.
One thing about the pattern, unprovoked, every day you are going to get a message from this app telling you about your ass.
Yeah. I was going through it. I was going through my ghosting period where I wasn't talking to anybody because in my mind, I think no one really fucks with me for real. And if I were to say anything about how I feel, people are going to disown me because that's how crazy your mind gets at times because of the trauma that you have. I've had trauma.
Don't stop talking about me like that. That's so crazy.
Oh, yeah, listen. I'm talking about this the way that I am. I'm talking about where I was, not where I am now. You feel me? So... yeah, that came out smooth as shit too. Yeah, can you tell I'm back on my bullshit, y'all? Yeah, I'm back on my bullshit. But yeah, so we had the app called The Pattern, And I'm going through this ghosting period. And I'm like, well, nobody really cares. This is what I'm saying in my mind, even though it's not true. We know it's not true, but this is what's built up in my mind right now because of trauma. But how I'm like, oh, nobody really cares about what I'm going through. Whatever the case is, it's not valuable enough to be considered or whatever the case is. So I'm not talking to nobody about it. The pattern is straight up telling me there's something in the air saying that you need to express your emotions. Whether it's a friend, whether it's whatever the case is, you need to talk to someone. The gist of it, this is not verbatim, of course, but the gist of it is you need to talk to someone. Your emotions are stirring right now, and you need to get your emotions out. And I'm like, hey yo, shut the fuck up! Like you need to do that. Like, wow, you did that.
I did every fucking day,
and then literally. And this is how the universe works. Literally after I got that, my friend Light hits me on Snap, like, are you okay? Are you good? We haven't talked in a while. The next day, Juice texts me like, yo, you good? It's been a couple days. I ain't heard from you. And I'm like, damn. It's crazy how after I get this message, the two people that I talk to on this kind of level are hitting me up wondering what's going on. Because, yeah, like I said, the moment we ended this episode last week, I went ghost. I turned everything off. I wasn't talking to nobody. Nobody. My mama lived in the same house as me and I wasn't talking to her. It was that bad. No one. Nobody. So, at that point, I was like, I need to. I have to. So I had Light up. We talked for a little bit on the phone. I texted Juice. Juice was wondering how I was feeling. I was like, look, whenever you're free, we can talk. It's like, you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it. Which in that case, for me, when it comes to healing, I feel like I'm a hybrid. At the same time that, yeah, I can go solo and repair myself. At the same time, expressing the emotions tends to help as well. So literally throughout all of this is what helped me realize that I put myself in this self-sabotaging cycle. And the thing that you have to do is, number one, accept your past. You have to accept that it happened. It's unfortunate. It's terrible. Nobody deserves to go through things like that, but it happened. And the important thing is it's not happening right now. So stop living the trauma that is months gone, bro. Those people aren't around no more. You haven't talked to these people in months. Let them go. Because the thing about time is time ain't waiting for nobody. Time keeps going. So these people that you, for some reason, you're hung up on, they moved on to worry about other shit. Unfortunately. Not even thinking about you. You're not in their life. You're not in their circle. Excuse me. What's the phrase? Out of sight, out of mind.
Big J-Rock, J. Cole song.
Yo, facts. Out of sight, out of mind. So why do you feel the need to keep holding on to this thing that happened months ago, 3 years ago, whatever the case? Now, this is not me saying that you have to forget. However, this is when you forgive. Back to this conversation that a lot of people, I think, confuse, even though I think this has been talked about in many realms. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you.
I need motherfuckers to hear that, please.
Forgiveness is not for the aggressor. It's not for the person who caused the crime, whatever the case is. Forgiveness is for you.
Neither is the apology.
Exactly. Once you forgive the person that did you wrong, you can work on healing. That does not mean you forget. Does not mean that you just like, oh, well, everything is peachy and clean. We can go back to the way we were before it happened. It's not the case. Once you forgive, that means you accept that this took place and now you can move on. Now, if you decide to cut that person off because of said event, that is your prerogative. And if it was that bad, I advise you do that. However, you need to forgive. You need to. Even myself, I'm working on it. I'm not saying it's easy. However, it needs to be done. Just because it's not easy does not mean that it doesn't need to be done. You have to do it. Have to. If you plan on getting better, you have to. So that's something I had to do for myself. As much as I hated what happened to me when I first started doing this stuff. When it comes to content creation, it comes to Twitch, YouTube, all that kinds of stuff, I hated it. It sits very heavy on my soul. Not as much now, but it used to. However, it happened. It's not here no more. It's not 2018 no more. It's not pre-pandemic anymore. Unfortunately, the world's different now because of pandemic, but however, it's pre-pandemic. That's worlds away now.
Facts.
Shoot, this past summer, worlds away. Honestly.
Oh my God.
Because some way, somehow, this pandemic makes 3 months feel like 3 decades. I don't know what it is.
The amount of things that have taken place this year that made me forget that they happened this year.
This year.
Is insane.
That's right. Because we're not that far. You would think that Kobe passed like 5 years ago. That's this year.
It was in January.
That's this year. Chadwick wasn't that far off either.
Oh, that was also.
Yeah. The freaking capital rate wasn't that far off either. This pandemic's something different. But back on topic. That needed to happen. It needed to happen. And once you do that, the amount of clarity that you start to get, it's different, man.
Definitely.
Like the Claritin commercials, the eye commercials, actually become real mentally. Like, it's a thing.
Jesus. While we are going out of that, was because W first hour, I cannot hold you.
Yeah. There'll be plenty more because I can go out for hours when it comes to mental health, but
this Kanye situation that I have been purposely avoiding. Every time I see that in the media, I get worried and afraid because I worry for that man.
So, for folks who don't know, this man, Kanye, well, my fault. He's not Kanye West anymore. He's just Ye. Ye went on Drink Champs not too long ago. And myself, I watched the episode. Twin hasn't seen the episode yet. I was thinking of texting it to her. I was like, yo, just check out this episode. But I was like, it's 2.5 hours. I don't want to put it through that.
I mean,
it wasn't bad though.
Depending on what I was doing,
it was entertaining. It was entertaining. So as well, there's levels to it. Either way, on topic. Ye went on Drink Champs. First and foremost, Ye is a funny nigga. Ye is hilarious. It's been like I was telling Juice before the episode. I'm like, it's been a very long time since a lot of people have heard Ye say more than 4 sentences for real, if it's not music. And this man just let loose on this interview for 2.5 hours. Like, first and foremost, I want to talk about how this man Ye looks. First and foremost,
he looks so healthy.
Health-wise. But I need to talk about this, I don't know, this deranged avatar haircut he got. I don't know what that is. And I hate it. And the only reason I hate it, because there's a group of people in this world that for some reason look at Ye like he's a messiah. So because he went and got that fucked up ass haircut, y'all gonna go get that fucked up ass haircut too. And then come to me talking about and swear that shit is fire. No.
Y'all gonna think so, like, bro.
That shit drippy, alright. False failure, nigga.
The same motherfuckers that's out here wearing them bionicle ass shoes, bro. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't.
Bionicle ass shoe.
Fucking bionicle ass shoes, bro. I don't want to hear. Motherfucker don't know whether you
talking about Heelys.
Okay, you can't never let motherfuckers know what your next move is, because if they look at your footprints, they don't know what way you walk in. Okay.
Like Heelys.
We got a funny word story for y'all at the end of the podcast, by the way. Just because you brought up that I remembered it.
Cause that shit used to kill me. I was never a biggest Haley fan, but seeing niggas going down the block with hands in their pockets, scrolling on their heels, bro, look fucking ridiculous to me.
Vibing, bro. Them niggas was vibing.
I mean, have your vibe off, but here's the thing. You gotta stop. Now, when you stop,
bro, you just gotta do.
And because your ass got wheels in your heels, so now you got a tippy toe like you trying to sneak cookies out the cookie jar at 3 a.m. everywhere you go.
That's like roller skates, bro. It's just like roller skates.
Here's the difference between Heelys and roller skates, though. We know it's roller skates. Nigga, you took the back heel of your sneaker out and put a thick ass wheel in it. And I'm supposed to be like, yo, that's hot. Yo, after like 14, get rid of them, bro. What are you doing?
Nah, bro. They make adult.
Let me find a 45-year-old out here on Heelys, bro. I might just push you over.
Heelys, bro. Okay.
I might just push you over.
I gotta tell the story now. Okay. So, bro, at my job, right? I work at one of the best breweries in the city, for real, in the lovely city of Atlanta. I work at one of the best breweries in the city. So, okay, so we have a lot of parties that come in here, and we have a cryptocurrency group that's in there all the time for their parties. You know, we call them the Bitcoin boys because that's what they're in there for. Okay, that's what they're in here for. So,
Bitcoin boys.
On me, like whenever they come in for a party, my owner comes in the back. He's like, "Hey, y'all, the Bitcoin boys will be here in like 30 minutes."
In the whole kitchen, like BCB.
Oh man, like dead ass. So, like, they was giving us cryptocurrency advice and all that other shit, but I digress. Anyway, so like one day I'm finna get ready to go, so I'm clocking out or whatever, and I'm finna go up to the bar to get my shift drink, and I'm walking out of the kitchen, and I see my front of house manager just standing there like she's stuck. And I was like, Jess, like, stuck, and she was like, "Did you see that?" I was like, "No." And she was like, and I look at the corner of my eye and I see this grown ass man, okay, hitting the Heely through my restaurant, okay? And the thing is, from where Jess is standing, he had to hit a corner. So that means this nigga hit a corner and then damn near went through the entire restaurant on one stride. So I was like, what the fuck is that? And she was like, this
That's
guy
Blades of Glory, nigga.
Asked me if they could pay in Bitcoin. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay. Like, he wasn't a dick about it or anything, but he was just like, okay. And then he just like lifted his foot up and like slapped the side of his shoe and like like wheeled away. I was like, oh my God. So you telling me. And that nigga, he was gliding, bro. Oh my God, I wish y'all could have seen it. I wish I would have recorded it. Something. This man really like, and I was like, he did what? She was like, he just slapped the side of his shoe and then like wheeled away. I was like, so this nigga already had his wheels in. That means you walk with your wheels in. You know how much skill you gotta have to do that?
Your art's different. Your shit weird.
You're walking with your wheels in, just regular shit. That's some skill. Because at any given time, you can do exactly what you just did and pop a... I was like, bro, what? That coupled with the fact that there's a hole in the wood in our floor because somebody dropped a barrel keg, right? Ooh. This nigga, she said he maneuvered around the hole and still hit the corner because the hole is right before the corner. She said he maneuvered around the hole, hit the corner, and I was like, by the time I saw him, he was like damn near at the bar. So you, like I said, you damn near at the front of the restaurant at this point. We standing by the kitchen, which is in the back. Our restaurant isn't big, but damn, nigga, you hit that much length on one stride. I was like, I've never seen anybody like, be mid motion with a Healy and gotta hit some more. She was like, no, he literally just like, bloop, like he was just gone. I was like,
not bloop.
Fucking way, bro. I just had to tell you that. That is the best memory I've ever had at this job so far, as far as like the crazy shit I done seen. I really saw a grown ass man, and he was so smooth with it. Like he was really like,
them niggas, man, Healy Hercules, bro.
That nigga walked Healy, and I guarantee you he got a car.
Car. Don't worry about the car.
That shit was Healy, so bro. Crazy, bro.
We Healy, bro. The Healy hero, bro. The Healy hero.
That's so crazy, bro.
He said, "I've been doing this since I was 12."
And that's really fucking crazy, dog. I don't know anymore, bro. I was like, I done seen it. Oh my nigga. Oh my god.
Well, it depends. You ever seen Crocs in sport mode?
Yeah. As a Croc connoisseur, I wear mine in sport mode from time to time.
Bro, I still want to see someone run away from getting jumped in sport mode.
Oh, I've never seen anybody. I mean, I only wear mine in sport mode when it's wet outside. Because they non-slip, but they only non-slip like if you inside or something like that. If you outside, then they do not give a fuck.
Man,
but back to Ye.
Bro. But no, that's the first thing. That haircut, I can't. I was staring at that shit the whole 2.5 hours. Not gonna lie.
That's so crazy.
That's number one. Number two. Still talking about this hairstyle. Because Nori had to ask about it. So Nori definitely asked about it.
Of course.
And then nigga said, well, I used to call it the Britney. I said, get the fuck out. Now.
I need Kanye to be friends with Britney. It would make my life, bro.
And he's like, oh, Britney Spears. It's like, yeah. He said, but now I think they can call it the Ye. I said, all right. I think that lick, bro. You sipping a little too much of the lick. Let it go. Yeah. I lied. It gets worse.
What?
But mind you, that's the middle of the interview. This man started off the interview talking about how now he sold all his houses. He's currently homeless. I'm like, oh,
on purpose.
Okay, on purpose. Kanye. I'm sorry. Ye is currently a nomad. There's no residence, and he summed up residency and having a home to being controlled by the powers that be that aren't God.
Oh, hey.
So, I can't, bro. I don't know what to say. And mind you, he's saying all this with the Britney haircut, and he's dressed like he's the reason mindless behavior became mindless behavior. My man got the overpuffed ass black jacket with the highlighter tee.
Them niggas style was crazy, bro.
I swear, this man was dressed like he created mindless behavior. Haircut looking like when Britney was going through it. You over here telling me about how if you own a home, it's a way of you being controlled by. Oh Lord, that leads me to one of the quotes this man actually said. Where is it? He said, the Declaration of Insanity is a form of censorship and control. I was like, all right, yeah, you just saying shit at this point.
The Declaration of Independence, and I'm not gonna hold you. I was finna leave. I wasn't finna end stream, but I was finna leave.
He said the Declaration of Insanity is a form of censorship and control. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Couldn't have been there because my stupid ass would have been like, yeah.
Oh yeah. He also said when white people say rapper, it's them saying the N-word. It's them saying so, oh damn.
Oh my god.
And I was kind of understanding where he was coming from, but I was like, that's kind of... Because he's saying it's like the new replacement for Urban. When everybody used to use that dog whistle. Because they didn't want to say an N-word out loud, because we'll slap the shit out you. So they started saying, oh, you look pretty urban. And all that shit. So I get it from that sense. But it's the way that he said it. Paused and then repeated it like that was supposed to explain everything. And I'm like, yay, what? Like, what we talking about?
The best thing ever. That is the best thing ever.
And then freaking a lot of it was just him just saying shit. And it's crazy because Nori knows that's what it was.
He'd be saying words and expecting them to come out as sentences.
And Nori knew it because if you're watching this episode, all throughout the episode, he's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm letting him keep going. This is interesting. I don't know what you said, but like, keep going. It's interesting.
That is the most insane shit ever.
This nigga Nori crazy. He know this man wildin'. But in between the insanity, he was saying some shit. Which I'm like, okay, cool. But it's like Ye was that one homie that usually never gets to talk to anybody. And in the moment you catch one of the homies on an off day, you spend like 3 hours just saying shit.
No, that's what I do.
That's Ye on Drink Champs. I swear. I swear. There was even a point where this man was talking about how, the feds know me and all that kinds of stuff. So there's one point he's like, I was wondering maybe I shouldn't do this interview because if they were to, and Nori's like, man, you can say anything on this interview. He's like, well, you see, but like
that's how they get you. No, you cannot, bro.
So you can say whatever. No one gives a fuck. You can say whatever, fuck. It's like, and Ye responds with, and I had to write this down. I rewinded like 2-3 times so I can make sure I wrote this down. He says, well, everything has a butterfly effect. Kobe died in Calabasas on the street where I would drive my kids to school. This video game, this Grand Theft Auto, it's real. The fuck does that have to do with what are you talking about?
I was literally just gonna say that sentence made my chest hurt.
What are you saying?
What does that even mean?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I was watching. I rewind a good 3-4 times. I try to rewind back because I didn't want to become like the rest of the people on the internet and just take things out of context because you hear one sentence, not the rest of it. So I rewind back a little bit so I can get the context that led up to it. And I'm like, oh, that don't explain nothing. That don't explain nothing. You just came out of nowhere. Kobe died in Calabasas. On the street where I would drive my kids to school. Like this video game, this Grand Theft Auto, it's real.
First of all, tell me what one has to do with the other. Then tell me what either has to do with anything we're talking about.
Like I said, for most of this interview, Nori just let him go. And Ye was going.
Crazy. Like,
we even get to the whole point of... They started talking about CLB. Of course. You have to.
What?
When it comes to Ye, you got to talk about CLB. And, of course, Nori brought up the fact of, throughout CLB, there is some clear shots thrown at you. And I just wanted to ask... Because Trav was on one of the songs on this project, and being that he's married into a family, whatever the case, I wonder what happened. Like, did y'all talk or whatever? This nigga Ye said, "Well, yeah, I made a group text. I had to make a group text." And it's like, well, you know who's on this text, bro? Got Kid Cudi, Push.
Why?
Drake, Jay-Z, Kim, and Trav, all in the text. All of them in this group text.
Why is Jay-Z here?
Because Jay-Z was on the project. He was on CLB.
He was?
Yeah. The second half that no one listened to, he was on that part.
Kanye.
He was on the second half.
How does it feel to have all your closest friends on the album of a nigga that you don't fuck with no more? Because Kanye, I feel like is the type of motherfucker that feel like if I don't like the bitch, you don't like the bitch. Like,
well, nah, he's kind of I want to say he's a drama queen, but he definitely publicly said that. Oh, I'm going to be listening closely to CLB now that it's out. The day it came out.
That's what I'm saying.
He confirmed with his manager and said, "Put out the statement that I'm going to be listening closely to this album," which led to this group text. This man, and this man said, "You know, bro." He said, "You know, one of the things I said that were legend, right?" I texted him. I said, "I'm worth more than all of you in this text combined."
That is a clearly false statement.
Okay. What?
That is clearly a false statement. Because what?
Do you know how much money in Drake and Jay-Z alone there is? Alone?
God.
Drake, the most record-selling artist currently of all time.
No, literally.
And Jay-Z, probably the most successful businessman in the hip-hop game today.
Nice.
Those two alone. And then you lumped in Kim Kardashian, which as much as I can give two shits about Kim for real, the girl got a hold on the beauty game. I can't, what can I say? She making money.
You know.
Fucking Pusha T, who's running your label, which later on, this man went ahead and said that, oh my God, this shit hurt me.
Oh God, not King Push.
So, not even King Push. It's not even a thing towards King Push. They do this thing on Drink Champs called, what's it called? I forgot what the game is called, but pretty much you have two choices. You have to choose one, but if you choose both or neither, you have to take a shot.
Okay.
So, came down to Nori asked him, so Pusha T or Big Sean? This man goes, oh, I love this one. Wait. So he gets up, walks over to the side of the set. He comes back with this Halloween decoration of the styrofoam tombstone. And he says, and I quote, "When I die,
oh God,
on my tombstone, it's gonna say, I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean."
Is that where that tweet came from?
Oh yes,
that was a direct.
It came from this episode. What I just said is a direct quote. He said the worst decision I ever made was signing Big Sean.
Oh,
and the reason,
my God,
and the reason he said this is because apparently during his presidential campaign that we all know was a mess, and probably it was because he was off his meds.
We calling it a campaign, or we calling it a manic episode? Because I'm calling it a manic episode.
Like I said, he was off his meds, and pretty much he said because him and John Legend were out just publicly participating in the Democratic agendas to knock me down and shit. So I don't fuck with neither of them. From what we've seen, Big Sean tweeted after that. He said, "Bro, I was just with you, bro. You ain't said none of that. I was just with you. Literally just with." Funny part is he tweeted out the picture where they were standing in the room together too. "I was just with you. You ain't say nothing."
Oh damn. Oh damn.
I was literally just with you. This is when I'm like, as much as, and regarding everything that I've said, because right now I know it sounds like Kanye out of his mind. I'm not gonna knock the fact that as much as we may not talk about it as much as we used to, Kanye changed the game as far as music is concerned. Probably one of the first one of the first artists that really actually successfully broke into the fashion industry, like for real. Because this man is really, he is sitting next to people like the CEO of fucking Givenchy and fucking worked with Old Navy because he felt like it. He had higher ups that he could have worked with, but he chose like working with Old Navy, all kinds of shit like that. Kanye changed the game. However, the thing with me is, and I think it leads into like celebrity culture and all that kind of stuff we'll talk about next week. Because of what Kanye has done, there's probably certain people who just think now whatever Kanye says is gold. I'm not gonna say that. You can't. Did you hear some of the shit he said? Mind you, I ain't go through everything yet. I ain't go through a lot of shit yet. But this man went and said shit like, Kobe died in the Calabasas. On the street, I drove my kids to school. This video game, this Grand Theft Auto is real. You gonna tell me right there there's some subliminals and shit and stuff talking about the society today in there? No, he just said that. He just said it. Cause y'all let him.
No, that is.
And I'm not gonna say that, you know, he doesn't have the right to be able to say what he want to say. Everybody has the right to say what you want to say. However, I'm not gonna pat you on the back and call you Messiah for it. No, I can't do it. My man homeless, and he was making a point of when it comes to the whole homeless thing about how, you know, he's always wanted to work to the point where he's built up enough connections to where he can go anywhere and people say, oh, your money's no good here. Which I get to a certain extent. It's great and all, but like homeless though, like sorry.
That's so extreme.
Like homeless though, like
so extreme.
Like, for real, like you can buy you, like right now as we speak, Kanye can go buy him a good house and it don't even touch 0.1% of his full income that's sitting in his bank account as we speak. Which on this interview, he talked about how his accountant was telling him that you kind of crazy for having 80 open accounts. This nigga got 80 open bank accounts, bro. 80. Fuck you doing 80 accounts, man? Am I wildin'? Is this something in the finance game that I don't know? I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know everything because we just talked about it. All black people don't need to know. Need to act like they know everything. I don't know everything. So is there something in the finance game that I don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Cause 80 accounts sounds kind of overkill to me. How many people you hiding your money from? Like, what is it to where you need 80 accounts to bounce your money around in? Which, shit, at this point, you probably ain't got no space to bounce around any money. There's probably literally like 10 million plus in every single one of them accounts. And then some. But still, fuck, 80 accounts. And bro, I could go on and on. Once again, and I'm gonna get back on my editing stuff, of course. So for folks who's here at this episode, you can check the description down below. I got the link to the episode if you want to skip around through it, because there's a lot of shit. So before I spend the rest of this episode talking about this one thing, I'll hit you with a synopsis. So first and foremost, this is probably the most anybody has seen Ye smile or laugh or pop jokes in anything in a very long time. I'm not gonna lie. I do believe that Donda is the turnaround for him to where we're probably going to get the closest to Oh Ye that we ever have in the past decade. To be honest. I don't know if it's the impending divorce between him and Kim or whatever the case is. It's kind of interesting because I wish I had podcasts back in the day, because the moment they announced that they were getting married, I was like, fuck, they took Ye. Kardashian curse about to go crazy, son. Ever since then,
Kardashian curse.
I mean, think about it. Everybody who is not a Jenner or a Kardashian that's been through that family. Unfortunately, it's been black men. Whoever's been through that family has not come out unscathed. Lamar was in there. Look where he at.
Fuck, give me a minute.
We can't say Travis Scott no more. Look what happened.
That's exactly who I was gonna say.
What just happened?
I feel like
Exactly. Well, Kardashian curse is real, which it's kind of. I feel bad for saying that because I don't want to say that people are curses or whatever the case is, but there's something weird about them Kardashians, man. Ain't nobody can escape that family unscathed. I don't know what it is. Lamar been through there. He had to go to rehab. Couple man got, what was it? Was it crack? I think it was crack. I don't remember what it was. If I remember correctly, Lamar Odom had a crack addiction for a bit.
It was a...
Or opioids. It's something like that. This is just...
It sounded like you said a crack fetish. I'm not gonna hold you.
A crack fetish, huh?
Listen, that's what I listen.
That's crazy.
Was it crack? I think it was crack. It was cracking hoes. It was cracking hoes.
The NBA to it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. Like what?
Travis.
Alright. I'm about to sound like a, excuse my French. I'm about to sound like a nigga right now, but I've always wondered, this is a podcast, so we can say whatever we want. It's gonna sound wild. It is what it is. I wondered what the fuck happened in that bedroom. You gotta have a different kind of cool if you gonna make a man go on crack. I'm just saying, the moment you hit that,
it's not like Whitney Bobby on crack. She
nah
on crack. Chloe, as far as we saw, and I feel like it would have been noticeable. You know,
indeed.
How?
So, like, I don't know, you got a different kind of cool to where you think you can't live through life no more unless you got crack in it. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't know.
Insane, bro.
Now, I'm not saying that he started crack after Chloe. I think he had instances here and there, but last time I checked, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat or in the comments below, before Khloe Kardashian, Lamar was clean at the time. So,
my God.
Once he left the Chloe cool, he went crack. Once she left the Chloe cool, he went cuckoo for crack. Crazy.
You know how when you miss somebody so much that you just feel like you can't cope without them. You know, she clearly said, you know, ain't no going back. You know, it wasn't nothing that could be done. You feel me? So like maybe that's what it was.
So you telling me there's something in the cool? That's what it is? Kardashian cool different?
I don't know. I would like to think it's not.
It gotta be. You know how many niggas been with Kim? Let me not do that. But still.
We're talking about the Kardashian Jenners and their significant others. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it.
It's interesting to me, bro. It's probably the most interesting thing I've thought about since the O.J. Simpson case, when I didn't know if he did it. When he said an imaginary friend did it, that's when I know he did it. But either way,
he wrote a book that said, what was the title of the book? Had I done it, whatever the fuck. That was the title of the book.
Whatever. I don't know. All I know is O.J. is a smart guy, because whether he did it or not, that nigga making money off every single moment.
And that's so crazy.
Like, I'm never gonna understand the fact of how Jack Dorsey, because correct me if I'm wrong, Jack Dorsey is the Twitter CEO, correct? I believe so.
Zach, I believe.
Is it Zach Dorsey? Jack Dorsey?
Yeah.
It's someone of the caucus. Either way.
So crazy.
Mr. Dorsey let OJ on Twitter. I don't know how you do that. You know who OJ is. You let him on Twitter? That's what you did?
Yeah.
One of the most wildest places on the internet, probably behind Reddit.
And this man it was bad because in the beginning, OJ wasn't tweeting, okay?
Right.
This man was not tweeting. It was everything he posted was a video. It was a video. And I'm like, sir, this is Twitter. First and foremost.
Well, here's the thing. I think as much as OJ's been through so much things, I think OJ's still stuck in the 90s. So.
It took this man no time to get a check mark put by his name, which is how I know for a fact. Y'all just put this man on this app and said, be free. Y'all just let this man do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Because this is in the midst.
We got a lot.
This is in the midst of the Trump epidemic that was going on Twitter. This is in the midst of it. So you see what Trump does with this shit. You let OJ on.
I'm like, bro, I feel like that's what it was. I feel like it was like he
can't be Trump bad, right?
Bad is old boy, right? Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, bro. Either way.
I digress.
Kardashian cool different.
I don't, bro. Well, we finna talk about a Jenner right now, or at least a Jenner significant other. As we know, if y'all don't know, you know, Astroworld Fest was was it this weekend or last weekend? It was recently.
I want to say it was recently. I want to say in the past 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, I want to say in the past like 2 weeks or so. I want to say last weekend if I want to be 100% sure. But I digress. Right. You know, it was recent, and rest in peace to everybody that passed. You know,
indeed, it's terrible. It's a terrible tragedy.
Terrible situation. You know, you going out to have fun, going to see one of your favorite artists. You expect to come home. Anybody sending their child, significant other, friend, whatever, out into the world to go do the same thing, you expect to see them later on that night, the next day, and for you not to is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I cannot even begin to express my condolences. Now, I found this article, however, because for those of you who don't know, Travis Scott had his Astroworld Fest in Houston, and it looked like Rolling Loud on crack. And for those of y'all who don't know what Rolling Loud look like, Rolling Loud is you expect motherfuckers to sneak in, mob the gates, you know, every stage is a mosh pit, unnecessarily, but every stage is a mosh pit. Astroworld was that on crack times 10. It was crazy. Now I'm pretty sure everybody done seen or heard about the video of people mobbing the gates and security literally just letting them, you know, just literally stepping aside, not even attempting to do so, help with anything, close the gates, help people up from being trampled because it was happening, you know. So that is the first video that I saw. And then I saw the video of what happened during the performance. Yeah. And I don't have the link to that, but if you do find it, I advise you trigger warning. Because
I'll probably find something. So check the description down below for folks watching after the fact.
In that video is deceased. So there's that. You also got the video circulating around of, you know, these children, you know, dancing on top of the paramedic cars, on top of the EMT trucks as they are trying to transport people out. Yes, that was happening as well.
I didn't know.
It's a lot of stuff happened. Travis's apology, if that's what you want to call it.
How much are we holding him responsible? I've been holding this in for a little bit. How much are we holding him responsible?
I mean, I'm really only holding him responsible for part of it, simply because that was not a private security. That was his security that he hired. So as far as the whole breaking and entering thing, I put that on him. I really do. because you should have hired better security. Those are your people, and they did nothing. As far as the whole thing that happened in the crowd, there was an instance where that same thing happened a couple years ago, just not as drastic, where you stopped the entire show and like cleared a way for that person, make sure they got some water and stuff like that. And in this instance, you just like kept performing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
And that apology really had me like, you know, it was giving you know, you're on the phone with a nigga and you know they lying and they know they lying. Right. They don't want to get caught. That's what that felt like.
Because the thing for me is...
Before I read the article, go ahead.
The thing for me is, like, the point that you made. When it comes to these concerts, like me, I haven't personally been to a concert, but from what I've heard from a lot of people, folks passing out in concerts of this magnitude is common. Course, and I understand not stopping a whole show for just one little instance, even though for some people that may be a gray area and iffy, but that's neither here nor there. That's up to the general public to decide. But for me, and based on the videos that I've seen, how many times does an incident like this have to happen in one event to where you stop? Because I've seen clips to where there are ambulances on the side trying to get people through, and you still performing. People, there's videos of folks shown passed out, potentially gone. I'm sorry to hear, once again, of course, condolences to all the folks who lost people because of this instance. But there's videos of people being passed out and or gone on the side next to people with the fingers out, you out here doing all this kinds of stuff, and you're still performing. People are talking about how folks are literally getting trampled damn near into their life, and you still performing. So when do we stop? When do we stop?
Right. It's like, and the people on Twitter comparing it to, you know, other artists that have done, like I said, like you did, and stopped in an instance when this happened, you know, it was, you know, like, it don't look good on you, my boy, especially when this isn't the first time this has happened. And the first time it happened, you reacted literally the exact opposite way you reacted this time. Like, it was almost as if you didn't give a fuck. And then that clip of him, that close-up clip of him, I'm not gonna say it was a smile, but that's what it looked like. You know? But
smiling during what? What happened?
During, you know, when they was out there like yelling for help, telling him to stop performing and call somebody.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Because like I seen one clip that he stopped performing for that moment and told someone to get some water for someone for someone passed out or whatever.
Yeah. That was the show from a couple years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the show from that wasn't this one. That was the show from a couple years ago. That's why everybody was like, "How you go from that to this?"
I mean, also, what made it worse? Welcome to the Kardashian family. What made it worse is Kylie Jenner come out talking about, "Oh my God, you didn't know? I didn't listen." From the history of your family, I'm thinking that a Pepsi can fix everything. I don't think anybody want to hear what you got to say. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, listen, nothing against Kendall. I don't know none of these people. I don't know none of these people. These niggas can point a finger in my career that didn't even start yet. To be honest, I'm nothing against you. However,
Kendall said, "I didn't know. I felt dumb. I apologize. I didn't know. I didn't realize what it looked like."
Which I understand, and I feel you, Kendall. The thing is, we don't learn from others' mistakes. Kylie, you hop out and do this?
No, literally, no.
You hop out and do this?
God damn it, Kylie.
You seen what your sister went through? Come on now.
Come on now.
And that was edited, recorded, and put out. So
I'm saying this.
Honestly,
this Kendall took the least amount of blame in her situation. Your shit was live. Right. What you got to say?
That's what I'm saying.
But
that, as well as compared to Kendall, is just a commercial. To this situation, there is multiple angles from many people across the internet that have been at his concert, sending you posting all kinds of videos of this instance. He told them, I know. Oh my god, no, why? Oh, how could this happen? Why? Oh. Oh my god, no way.
In this article from Yahoo News Insider, we have a piece of information that literally does not help this situation whatsoever. Because 2 weeks before the Astroworld tragedy, because that is what it is known as now, a Playboi Carti concert at the same Houston venue was canceled because of an unruly crowd. And for those of y'all who know Playboi Carti and who know Travis, they have a similar demographic as far as fans go. I personally feel like Travis fans are worse as far as unruliness goes, because ever since that nigga decided to yell like a demon and throw a microphone stand across stage, shit ain't been the same. Now, some cliff notes real quick before we get into the article. It's a little short read. Playboi Carti concert was at the same venue as the Deadly Astroworld show was canceled 2 weeks before because of an unruly crowd. Police got involved when hours-long lines turned into chaotic and aggressive, fans. One man who went to the show with his son said they got picked up off their feet and pushed forward a good 10 or 15 feet, quote.
Bro.
So, and that's another thing. You have parents that are letting their children pick their favorite artist and listen to music that they think they like, and they're letting them go to these experiences. Shout out to them parents, shout out to them kids. Good for y'all, my boy, because I would never do that shit until I was almost an adult. And they can't even experience that. But into this article, 2 weeks before the Astroworld Festival show left 8 concert goers dead, a Playboi Carti concert at the same Houston venue was canceled after a similar crowd surge took place. Fans waited in line for hours to get into RNG Park for the October 23rd show, causing some to breach security barriers and aggressively push their way into the venue. It was unclear whether anyone was arrested, but the concert was canceled due to the unruly crowd. One man who traveled to the show with his 16-year-old son said that 2 hours after the concert was scheduled to begin, they still weren't able to get into the venue. I would have went home.
Jeez. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Even when I was Chance the Rapper, he was late, but we were already inside. He was just late.
Right.
Quote, we got swept up and it literally picked up off our feet and pushed forward a good 10 or 15 feet, end quote, Chris May told ABC 13. The crowd then surged backward. I'm sitting there with my arms wrapped around my 16-year-old son, terrified for our safety and fearing the worst, and whispering in his ear, don't worry, everything's going to be okay, just don't fall down.
Sheesh.
Terrifying.
And this is from
May's son said, this is from the
tribute
Playboi Carti event.
Oh, Playboi Carti, there you go.
Yeah. One of them. So when May's son said he wanted to see Travis Scott play at NRG Park for the Astroworld Festival, he refused to let him go. Good. I wouldn't bring him back to Houston or RNG because I don't feel like RNG was prepared to handle a crowd. At Travis Scott's Friday night Astroworld concert, okay, so this happened on Friday. God damn. A crowd surge at NRG Park left 8 people dead and hundreds more injured. The rapper continued to play through his set despite the casualties in the crowd. The crowd.
Oh my god, no way! How could this happen?
The crowd safety expert previously told Insider that the concert's organizers were to blame for the disaster. NRG Park did not immediately respond to Insider's request for a comment. So,
how could we get to this? I don't know how. Oh my god, no way!
So
why?
This really just make it look even worse. Considering
how could this happen? Oh no!
Considering the fact that this happened, same thing happened 2 weeks beforehand, and it ended immediately. They stopped it. They canceled it. And you not only, because if we're being perfectly honest, Astroworld was crazy from the gate, no pun intended, because that is what happened. They mobbed the gate. They broke one down. People were getting trampled then. Mm-hmm. And then once these people got inside, it was as calm as it would be for a festival for the time being. And then this happened during the performance. And considering the fact that beforehand, the Playboi Carti concert didn't get started to the point where that was even able to happen, because you can see these people are doing all this just to get in.
Right.
Now, why it was late, why it took so long for him to get, it don't matter. This is what happened when they had to wait longer than they felt like they needed to. And now they doing this. And like I said, in my personal opinion, Travis Scott fans are worse. Just because it's more of a rage vibe when you listen to his music, when you go to his concerts and his festivals and whatnot. So you already hyped up off that. And now you ready to go, you ready to get into it. And you not worried about the next bitch safety. For real, for real.
Mind the fact, like 60%, maybe even 75 plus of these people in attendance are inebriated. Either high, drunk, or crossfaded. So
it's like you got to think about all that going into it from a performer, promotional, PR point of view. And nobody did. And now people lost their lives because y'all were careless.
People lost their lives, and their lives will never be the same.
Because y'all were careless.
Because I don't know if you've seen this one video. I've seen it in I've seen it in a reaction video of people talking about this Travis Scott concert. Shout out to Abba and Preach on YouTube. I was watching them react to it, and they found this video of this one man talking about how, I'm not remembering anything verbatim necessarily, but the gist of it is pretty much of how he really wanted to come to this concert, and he came to this concert and it felt like fucking hell. Right. And he took that as a message from God to never come back to a situation like this. And I think he swore that he's not listening to Travis again. He was a Travis fan.
Definitely seen people comparing the aura of the concert and the feeling of the concert to being in hell before all this even took place.
So
that, coupled with what happened, coupled with the lack of, empathy in the apologies and all that other stuff, it's giving y'all don't care. Y'all really do not care that these people were hurt, that these people are traumatized, that these people lost their lives and all this other stuff. Because at the end of the day, before he decided he was going to refund everyone, you got your money.
Right.
Or whatever it was that you got from it, the publicity, whatever it was. Because whether you getting people their money back or not, you still got your publicity. And unfortunately, most people think, when it comes to the business, publicity is publicity, good or bad.
Right.
Because somebody out there gonna be like, well, yeah, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Maybe I'll listen to the nigga, So it's one of them things that's.
Yep. Like I said before, everyone is a hypocrite to a certain extent in their own right for whatever reason. And unfortunately, when it comes to the entertainment industry, a lot of the audience and its performers fall under that category. This situation is terrible. It's tragic. I mean, I can't tell anybody to have my heart, to have my compassion, etc., etc. But if it's me, I'm stopping this concert after like the third, fourth instance, because obviously I see a trend. Personally, me, if I see one or two serious situations. All right, yeah, y'all, we just gonna go ahead and, call it a wrap. I know I was supposed to be here for 3 hours. Y'all was only here for like an hour and a half. I'll refund everybody their money because, I'm a global recording artist and I'm making money anyway. So y'all can go ahead and have y'all money back. Maybe on y'all way out, y'all can pick up some merch for free.
Like something.
Because I know damn well, I know some folks, some companies and shit like that, if that shit been out and nobody's buying them, they don't reuse it. They don't sell it. They don't send it to like a store for it to be sold. That shit burned, or it's just sitting in a warehouse somewhere being wasted. That's the point. There's many people who are fans that want that merch. They just can't afford it. And if they went through all this trouble to come to a concert for it to be canceled, or for something like this to happen, hey yo, go ahead, grab you a shirt with my face on it, man. Ain't nothing, man. Go ahead. Y'all have your money back for y'all tickets, or whatever the case is. And hopefully everybody gets back home safe. We'll be good. And next time I perform, I'm gonna put all kinds of preventative measures in place so we don't have this happen again.
Right. Because at the end of the day, this all could have been avoided. All of it.
But hell yeah.
All of this could have been avoided had somebody taken, I don't even want to say had somebody taken the initiative, had somebody done their job correctly. For real. Because this all boiled down to the fact that somebody half-assed on a part of their job. That's all this boiled down to, for real.
Alright. That's terrible. Once again, on behalf of the show, on behalf of myself and Twin, condolences go out to everyone affected by this situation.
Absolutely.
Could have been avoided. We hate that there's going to be many funerals, many hospital visits, etc., happening because of this event. It's terrible.
If those of y'all in the chat, anybody in the comments afterwards has any links or anything like that can be sent out to help any of these families, whether it's with monetary or with condolences alone, put them in the comments, put them in the chat.
Definitely, for sure.
That's nobody asked for this. Nobody asked to go see one of their favorite artists or go have a good time and then not come home.
Or go to this concert and come back a different person. And not in a good way. Because going through hell changes a person. Shit. It changes a person. And I can imagine being in that kind of scene, not being able to look at life the same. Because that's... What? Being at a concert and people are passing out, some of them not waking up left and right. You can't breathe. You can't turn to the left a little bit because you damn squished. You blink, you flying through the air, not be able to stand. And if your foot don't touch the ground right now, you're probably about to get trampled for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That man, that's not a situation to be in.
And and for those of you who don't know this, it takes 30 seconds of trampoline to cause permanent brain damage. 30 seconds.
This
30
man. Yeah, man.
But into some lighter notes.
Right.
Y'all want to eat some food? Because I do.
Always.
This ain't a good note that we starting off with, but we got two good ones afterwards. So, for those of y'all who eat bag salads, why?
Oh.
First and foremost, how you doing that? I'm so serious. How you doing that? Ew. Anyway. But for those of y'all who are eating bag salads, they're being recalled in 10 states. So,
damn, that's 20% of the country.
Right, you know? So, okay. Several Dole products. Okay.
Not Dole.
Dole.
Damn, Dole. God damn it, Dole.
Oh my god. So, Several bag Dole salads are being recalled, okay, due to a possible listeria contamination.
Oh my lord.
So, Dole is recalling some bag salads over concerns that they may be contaminated with listeria. The FDA announced on news on its website and explained that the precautionary recall only affects a limited number of cases of garden salad that could possibly contain Bacterium Listeria monocygenes. That is listeria in Latin, listeria. Wondering if you might have some in your salad in your fridge. The recall affects the following varieties, okay, which all have best if used by October 25th, 2021. And that is the 24-ounce Dole Garden Salad, the 24-ounce Market Classic Salad, the 12-ounce Kroger brand Garden Salad, and the 12-ounce Salad Classics Garden Salad.
Okay. Lord.
The products included in the recall were distributed to Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Maryland, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Virginia. And the FDA recommends, you ain't got to if you don't want to, recommends tossing them out if you still have them at home. Okay. So far, there have been no reported illnesses related to the recall, which was initiated after Georgia's Department of Agriculture conducted a random sample of the test garden salad, and it came back with a positive result for listeria. The FDA encourages customers with questions about the recall to call the 24/7 Dole Consumer Center at 1-800-356-3111. Okay? This is the second major recall related to listeria this fall. In September, kale at Kroger, I remember that, and other stores was also recalled after a report from a customer who said that the product was contaminated with listeria. According to the FDA, listeria is an organism that, quote, can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, frail or elderly people, and others with weakened immune systems. Healthy people typically only experience passing symptoms like fever, headache, nausea, diarrhea, stiffness. Basically, feel like you got a cold. But listeria infections can also
cause a stomach bug.
But listeria infections can also cause something as severe as miscarriage and stillbirths in pregnant women.
Goodness gracious.
So, if you got a Dole salad, at this point, it don't matter what kind, throw it away. Also, if you're eating bagged salads, stop. Chop your shit up. It ain't that hard. Stop.
That shit tough.
Chop up your damn salads.
He said, stop it. Get some help.
Please. Now. Because it's cold outside.
Barely.
Barely for you.
Ain't no fucking fall or winter in Florida. It's spring, summer, spring, bro. Hey, bro. I'm keeping it on it, bit. It's spring, summer, spring over here, bit.
So terrible. I do not miss them days about home. I'm not gonna hold you. So, now, for those of you who don't know, as of recently, okay, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, when the holidays come, okay, they do this little thing called Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
And Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch has taken a step above this year.
Oh, shit.
So not only do we have Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, okay, we have Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch treats.
Yo, and diabetes, here I come.
But I want to try one. The shit, you know? So,
what you think brought Rice Krispies back, bro? Rice Krispies
that's
treats.
That's literally what it is. Except with Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch. So
that's what I'm saying.
As we all know, Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch has been in and out of aisles since 2015. It's been making a good run. And as we look forward to its return, look forward to mini treats, okay? Like other cereal bars, the Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch mini treats combine cereal with milk-inspired flavor. That sounds kind of crazy. To have you enjoying the pieces without needing a bowl or a spoon. So you can expect the Christmas-inspired cereal, which was made of the whole wheat and rice pieces that are covered in cinnamon sugar flavor with sugar cookie flavor with a milk-esque flavor and drizzle. Okay, the new soft-baked treats are starting to roll out into stores, so they might be available now, depending on where you at, including a 35-count box at Walmart. And a 53-count box at Sam's Club. The sweet treat cereal has 60 calories each, which is not that bad, but also they might be little, and are individually wrapped.
Everybody hitting my 4 of them hoes, so damn well you're getting 240 calories for the win.
I personally definitely want to try them. Okay.
Oh yes, sir.
Because I really like Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch. If you haven't had Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, try it because it's good as hell. And it's not up there with like Churro Toast Crunch, which if you haven't had that, try that too. It's not up there with like Churro Toast Crunch, but it's definitely something to look forward to.
Man.
So, nigga like me, I'ma try it. So.
Oh, for sure. I'd love to.
Now.
That shit's on fire.
Y'all fuck with Keebler cookies? Because I feel like anytime I bring
what
up
is
Keebler
that?
Cookies, Keebler cookies?
Oh, Keebler. I thought you said keyboard cookies. I was like, what, nigga?
No.
Alt plus enter ass cookies?
Original fudge stripe cookie. Y'all fuck with that?
I remember those, yeah. I fuck with
because for some reason, Keebler cookies are, and don't look at me crazy, because y'all know it's some cookies that taste better when they stale. These are it. They good either way, okay? And the thing about the fudge stripe is they've done it so many ways. They've done fudge stripe, they've done the red velvet version. It's And I feel like after the Mountain Dew fiasco of last week, we need a redeeming gingerbread snack for the holidays. Jesus. And Keebler is doing just that. So, according to this article from Simple Most, Keebler fudge stripe cookies are getting a gingerbread makeover for the holidays.
Oh.
So, peppermint may be to winter what pumpkin spice is to fall, but let's not forget about the iconic seasonal flavor of gingerbread. From gingerbread houses, to the sweet and spicy cakes, to gingerbread hot chocolate, also fire, okay? It's the perfect seasonal flavor to get you in a holiday spirit. I honestly look for gingerbread more than I look for anything else when it's wintertime. I'm not gonna hold you. So this year, okay, you'll find a new gingerbread treat in time for the holidays. Fudge stripe cookie. Keebler's new gingerbread fudge stripe cookies combined the flavors of vanilla fudge. So we got vanilla fudge stripes on a gingerbread cookie. The cookies are rolling onto grocery store shelves right now, but they're only available, obviously, for a limited time. Of course, as everyone knows, Keebler cookies are made by elves, so adding more gingerbread flavor to the holidays, it just makes sense.
Of course.
You know? So, while this is the first time Keebler has created a gingerbread flavored fudge stripe, there are other varieties, like I was saying. You got the original fudge stripe, you got the whoopsie fudge stripe, which is basically just a chocolate covered one. Ain't no stripes. You got the dark stripes. And then also, for a new gingerbread flavor, Nestle Toll House just released 4 new cookie doughs, including a gingerbread cookie top with holiday sprinkles. You can also make your own gingerbread cookies, like the little reindeer. and gingerbread cookie men with the cookie cutters. As for gingerbread flavors and other forms, you can buy gingerbread Kit Kats. I won't be doing it. Halo Top has a gingerbread ice cream coming out, and gingerbread flavored ice cream made with cognac from Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream.
Oh.
The cognac gingerbread ice cream combines cognac flavored ice cream with notes of butterscotch and brown sugar, plus dark caramel sauce and spiced gingerbread cake pieces. And if you want even more gingerbread flavor, the ice cream would pair perfectly with a gingerbread poke cake that combines gingerbread, bread mix, condensed milk, and butterscotch ice cream topping. So, needless to say, there is no shortage of gingerbread on the shelves this year.
Shit.
And I, for one, being as it is my favorite winter flavor, could not be more excited.
There's a shortage of Thanksgiving spirit this year, as usual.
Because boy, do I have some blurbs for y'all about next week, just to let y'all on an inside scoop of the food industry. Okay. According to the big body, big backs behind the scenes, okay, this year has on record, before anybody has even started buying anything, it is projected to be the most expensive Thanksgiving.
Jeez.
Simply because everything that you would normally cook, even if it's just traditional turkey, cranberries, because cranberries are having a hard time growing this year. So a lot of cranberry, Ocean Spray themselves is advising you just don't buy cranberry sauce, make it. And that's Ocean Spray. They're telling you not to buy it because it's a waste of money. It's that expensive. Everything else, as far as traditional things that you were supposed to see, quote unquote, on a Thanksgiving table has increased by 10% in price.
Oh.
A 16-pound turkey that would have costed you $25, almost $30 last year is going to cost you almost $50.
You should take the whole family out to dinner.
Like me, not cooking turkey, haven't cooked the turkey on Thanksgiving in I don't know how long. I'm making chickens. So there's that. But I would advise y'all to, if you haven't thought about it, this might be the year to go the non-traditional route for Thanksgiving for at least your meats. You know, at least. My mama made ribs a couple years ago. We did chicken last year. We're gonna do chicken again this year. You know, you still want to do stuffing, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. That stuff isn't really going up in price just because those are things that if you're doing them homemade or box mix or anything like that, they're typically staying the same price. Unless, you know, you eating stovetop, which, I mean, why would you do that? But anyway.
Crazy.
Depending on the brand, obviously, if you see it more around the holidays, it's going to be higher than it was last year. And like I said, you got Ocean Spray themselves telling y'all not to buy cranberry juice or buy cranberry sauce. If you really need it, make it. It's. I know I tell y'all this a lot when it comes to food stuff. It's not hard. I promise you, it's not. You would just have to find fresh cranberries, and if you can't find one, hey, this the year you just ain't gonna have no cranberry sauce. It is okay. It is okay because majority of y'all get shit out the can anyway. Why? Why? But anywho,
oh my god, no why? How could this happen?
I feel like that's a good place to wrap it up. That and the fact that I have a package at the door. My chips are here.
Hey, W.
But you know, I feel like W episode 4. Hope y'all found these things informative. We will be here next week. I got some Black Friday deals for y'all.
Indeed. As far as
Friday
I'm concerned,
deals. If y'all not excited for Thanksgiving, at least be excited about the sales that come after.
Yeah, you gotta have Black Friday money.
Honestly, this year, because food is so expensive, Black Friday deals have gotten a lot better. Not gonna hold you. So y'all in for some treats next week because gaming shit done. These sales is crazy.
Yep.
Feel like me
this leads me to.
I don't know.
Leads me to one tweet that I seen the other day. Bro, y'all always looking for TV deals every Thanksgiving. What happened to the one from last year?
No, we need to talk about that next week. Wwhy?
Y'all want TV deals every Black Friday. What happened to the one last year, bro? What happened to the one last year?
My thing is, it's TV deals all throughout the year. Why y'all want to wait till Black Friday? It's good Apparently. TV deals all throughout the year. Why y'all want to wait till Black Friday? But we'll talk about it next week because it'll be, it'll be on par. It'll be more appropriate. Anyway.
Indeed. As far as I'm concerned, y'all know what it is. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, it's been a while. It's been a month. I talked to Juice about it before the show. For the first time in probably a month, we gonna do a post show. Twitch.tv/Cedric the Gamer. New overlay, new vibes, all that kinds of stuff. Being that I had to set up for YouTube on OBS, it won't be right away. But for folks who are here live, if you want to go over there, get yourself ready. Go over there, go talk in the chat if you want to. Get ready for it. I'm going to be in there probably the next 15 or so, or whatever the case is. But we back. We back to the grind. Schedule's probably changing soon due to classes that we have planned for spring, because it's gonna be the last year of college. Around this time next year, your boy should be out of there. So schedule's gonna change around a little bit. We're back to the consistency. We're back to being the most consistent streamer in the community. Wait a minute. All that kinds of stuff. Hey, what? This is what people told me. I'm not just saying that just to be cocky. This is what people told me.
Wait a minute, nigga.
I ain't saying no shots. This is what the people tell me.
Okay.
It's what the people tell me. I got the most consistency in the community, period. Anyway. Until I left. They don't be mad. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, Twin be on her shit, bro. The kitchen always open every week. And if it's not, something happened. Okay?
If it's not because I've been convinced to start back my gaming streams, y'all now have Apex Sundays. Along with... And then
I remember them days.
Boy, please.
So, before I make this outro any longer, like I said, in a couple minutes right after this show, for folks who are here live, Twitch.tv/Cedric the Gamer. We got a post show coming. I gotta show y'all all the new stuff we put into the overlay and all kinds of stuff, bro. A little homemade joint, whatever the case is. We're gonna be seeing for a little bit. So, sure. Probably Twin gonna be in the Discord call with y'all too and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be a vibe. We just going wherever we going. So if you're here for it, come through in 15-20 minutes. If you're watching after the fact, follow me, twitch.tv/Cedric the Gamer. Follow me everywhere. This next month and a half about to go wild. When I say wild, I mean wild.
Nintendo November for you niggas.
Streammas is right around the corner, and that right there is an event in itself that I actually got to start planning now, because 25 days of content straight. Sheesh, you kidding me? Second annual. We got through it before. We're gonna get through it again. So come through. It's gonna be hype. And yeah. That's it for me.
Damn. As far as your favorite beverage is concerned, we will be live in the kitchen tomorrow. The fridge is open. Feel me? Any of my socials, you can hit that link tree. But if you would like for me to tell you, you can follow me at juicebox_Garcia on Twitter. My personal YouTube, just Juice. The cocky_confectioner on Instagram, and follow the business Instagram, the letter Enjoy Confections, no spaces. If you would like to buy some cookies, the shop is open again. Yes, sir. We re-upped on everything. Please don't clean me out as fast as y'all did last time.
So? What you think?
Don't clean me out as fast as y'all did last time, boy.
What you thought? What you think? This said order coming. You prepare, nigga. This said order coming, nigga.
do that, boy. I was not prepared.
I swear to y'all, everybody listen to this episode. She think every single time that I'm playing with her, max order everything. Give me the whole menu. Max order. Don't play with me. This is how we support homie business. Fuck is you talking?
The menu has grown. We now have 3 new additions, as well as I am taking commission orders. We will discuss prices if you slide into the DMs.
Everything. Give me everything.
So, with that being said, you can hit my lovely twins link tree and mine as well if you want to get all the socials, all of them, all in one place. You can follow yours truly at Juicy Juice, Juicy with an E, Juice _ on Twitch. I will be live tomorrow. We making super egg rolls. So, with that being said, it has been your 2 favorite sides of the brain on the Braincast. Smart people with smart mouths. And I don't know about you, but I feel like we're done here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, folks are here. Over there.
Tuesday. For those of y'all who are not going to the post show, those of y'all who are going to the post show, we'll see y'all in about 15-20 minutes. For those of y'all who are watching this after, hit every follow you can, everywhere you can. Make sure to hit a like, comment, subscribe. Hit us with the questions. Hashtag AskBraincast on Twitter. Email us if you don't feel comfortable doing it on Soulja Boy's internet. And we will see y'all here. Same time, same place, next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Peace, y'all.
Be blessed, not stressed. And no fall, no mess. Y'all be easy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying? Peace.